Welcome to the Friday edition of One's World, and as I promised on Tuesday, I'm going to give you the second part of a two-part series on the water festival in Phnom Penh, Bonum Touk. And on Tuesday I talked about the boat races, and today I'm going to show you a video of the evening when they have lighted boats that come down or up the river, I guess, that are sponsored by various government agencies or corporations, and there's a big firework display. And I got myself set up so that I could see the whole firework display, and I've recorded the whole thing. It's 20 minutes with little jogs sideways to see the boats and whatnot, but I'm basically going to do a commentary running through the video that I produced, and we'll see where we get. I may run out of ideas before the end of the firework display, in which case you could just enjoy the fireworks to the end. So let's get started. Now here you can see the full moon and the hotel where the fireworks are going to start from, and you can also see the boats just beginning to light up. They've got their generators running and they're now getting the lights going, and it's not quite as dark as my camera makes out. It's just dusk, so it's barely 6 o'clock. And the lights go on, and then pooh, the first firework. And this surprised me, because when I used to live close here, I used to know when the firework display was going to start, because the first one would be one with a huge bang associated with it. I mean, it would explode and, cast off lots of red and green and blue lights and so forth. But it had a huge explosion, and I knew when I was sitting in my apartment, okay, there's a firework display about to go off, and so I would walk down to the quay and watch. And this one, the first firework had virtually no sound to it. I've got the sound muted a little bit here because it's kind of annoying in relation to me talking as well. But I want to show you just how big these displays are. Now in the United States, when they have firework displays, and one of the biggest ones is on July 4th, then people go to municipal parks or wherever and they have a big display. And it lasts a long time, 25, 30 minutes, but it's nothing like this. When you go to one in, let's say, New York, where I used to live, they would start at about 9 o'clock because it's the middle of the summer and doesn't get dark till then. And boom, there'd be one firework go off, and everyone would go, ooh, and then another one, and then another one, and they're like all individual. Maybe 2 or 3 once in a while, but mostly just one, another one, another one. And then after about 20, 25 minutes of that, then a big finale, like poof, 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 which everyone would cheer at and then go home. Well, these you can see, I mean, they're just endlessly going. I mean, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all together, and this is just the beginning. And the other thing that you can see in this shot is that they are going off at different heights. That some of the fireworks, like you can see here now, some of them are going off very low, and then some of them are going off high, some of them in the middle, making it extremely difficult for a videographer to keep track of where they all are, because like sometimes you see, okay, these are going to go high, these are going to go high, so I'll go up, but then I'm missing all the ones that are going on down below as I'm emphasizing these above, and I'm also missing all of the boats. Well, I do have plenty of videography of the boats from the day before. This was the second day of Bonham Took, and I made a point of finding a place to stand where I was going to have a completely unobstructed view across the river. And it's not very difficult. Like right across the river from the hotel where all of these fireworks are going off, there are hordes of people. I mean, they are just like 20 deep at the railings opposite the hotel, and they're also squatting on the Sisawat Quay and on the steps and everywhere. Just walk about, let's say, 100 meters further away from the hotel where I was, and there's practically nobody. And I had a completely unobstructed view. And so now here you can see, for a little bit, I'm showing you full moon, of course, and the lighted boats. Trying to pay attention to too many things at once. I do have a very good set of photos of all of the lighted boats from the day before, so that wasn't really my intention here. But you know, I want to try to show the juxtaposition that these boats they're just sailing along. They're pretty big barges. They do mostly go under their own steam. They do have tugboats kicking around in case the engines don't work properly or some such, but mostly they can function on their own steam, and they don't go very fast. They just plots along, and there are a number of them. I'm gonna say 50, but I haven't actually counted. But it takes a very long time for them to all pass by a single viewing stand. Now you can see here that the fireworks are all at a low level right now. You can see them in relation to the hotel, and now they're going back up again. Very spectacular, and everyone loves them. I mean, the kids get a little bored after a while, but the parents and the adults, you know, stand around and just gaze. And in the days of smartphones, a lot of people try to record the whole thing from beginning to end, but they usually run out of memory or battery power or some such and have to give up. But I was in good shape. I've got an excellent camera, which is also a video camera, and I was able to just stand there and just plow on. And I hardly used any memory or any battery at all. It's such a good camera. I'll have to explain to my to my camera guy that it's doing a really good job. Now, just in the corner there, you could see the lower fireworks a little bit, and now I'm just paying a small amount of attention to the number of lighted boats. Now back to the fireworks. You can see there's some at the low level, like not here, right? And you know, keep on at that low level, and then up to a middle level, and then up to a higher level, well above the roof of the hotel. And at some point I may turn back up the volume a little bit so that you can get a sense of the sounds of the fireworks. They're not explosive, but they do pop a lot, and it adds a color to the whole display. And it's going to continue. Let me just take a look to see where we are. Yeah, it's going to continue for quite some time yet, and I'm going to keep it going, but I'm not going to keep my commentary going. So you can decide at any point whether you've had enough. The whole display was right around 20 minutes, and it's pretty much the same. uh, you really need to like switch attention between the fireworks and the lighted boats just to get the full effect. But I really wanted at least one example of the whole firework display, which I'd never done before. I've been here for 7 years now, and I've certainly seen, 25, 30 firework displays. They're all pretty much the same. I mean, they're so common that most of the people in my area where I used to live, which is very close to the river, but people just didn't bother. They would hear this big bang, say, "Oh, fireworks!" Right? And then they go back to, eating their dinner or whatever it was they were doing. And sometimes I'd go out, and sometimes not. It just depended. But you see, there's 3 days or 3 nights of fireworks for Bonham Took. This year there were 3 days for Independence Day, because it was the 70th anniversary of independence. There's also one evening of fireworks for the King's birthday, an evening on the Gregorian calendar New Year's, not the Chinese New Year. The Chinese who live in Phnom Penh have their own fireworks that they let off in various corners of the city, but they don't have a municipal firework display like this one. Nor do they usually have one for Cambodian New Year, which is a little bit surprising to me. But they will sometimes have an ad hoc event. It could be the Queen Mother's birthday or the accession day of the king or something. And for some reason, they just decide we're going to have fireworks. I remember, gosh, it was 6 years ago now. I was just walking home from having a Khmer lesson with a group of people that lived near me, and just walking home, and all of a sudden, look ahead of me and there's fireworks. No idea. I can't even remember what the day was, but it was something that they decided was worth having fireworks for. So, if you like my videos, I would like you to tell your friends. I would like you to subscribe and put a like on them. It all helps the algorithm with YouTube. I don't make any money on this. It's all free. It's all just your delight and edification. So I'm going to leave the rest of the video going to the end so that you can see the whole display, or you can just decide, okay, that's enough, which is what most people do in the city. They'll come for the fireworks and they'll get all excited. I mean, they come quite early and hang out and drink and have various things going on, and then they'll just fade away. So okay, we've seen enough. On to the next, and they're gone. But me too, as it happens most of the time. But this year I stayed to the end, and you can decide whether you want to stay to the end too or not. So enjoy the rest of the video.
lên đấy đặt đây và đây có này có chạy lại nhiều quá nhiêu
nè, nè bạn.